Sydney's a real tall ball club. I think it basically we started the same against them that we did against Plattsmouth. You know, we haven't played against that great size disadvantage that we had last night, and I think the second half when we could tell in the end of the second quarter that we were starting to playing our basketball game, and it was pretty evident in the second half that we got to do the things we had. Today, we hope that it doesn't take us that long because against Norris, we know we're going to have to play 32 minutes of basketball.
What kind of a ball game do you expect today? What do you expect from the Norris Titans? They're undefeated, look pretty strong.
Well, they sure do, and I've seen them play 2 or 3 times this year, and every ball game I've seen them play, they've played extremely well. I think Coach Smutty does an excellent job with them. He's got some fine balance in his ball club. We feel we have some fine. I think it's just going to be a whale of a basketball game. I just hope that both of our teams can live up to the expectations of this ball game because I think it'll be one of the finer ones in the state tournament this year.
Now, you've been to the state tournament a lot in the last 5 years. Do you think that kind of experience will help you a little bit today?
Well, I think it's one thing that got us into the state tournament. You know, when you have experience of playing here, you know, I think the kids are motivated and they know what it's like and they want to go back and have that same experience again. You know, I think basically when you get in a situation like this, experience has quite a bit to do with it. Coach Smutty's been around. You know, he's got his kids well prepared for this. They look like they've been here before. You know, they're playing with a lot of poise and a lot of confidence, and they're not new to Lincoln. You know, they live close to Lincoln. I think that's a plus for him. We've had some, you know, we've had to stay in a motel here. You know, we're getting away from our normal realm of things we do. You know, that's no excuse. We're going to play basketball today, regardless of what the circumstances are.
Okay, well, Coach Holliday, good luck to your Aurora team today.
Thank you very much.
Well, Coach Smutty, for you, it's the first time at the state tournament, although, as Coach Holliday has said, you live near Lincoln. What's the atmosphere around Norris? I know that there's been a long line of cars from that area down to Lincoln today. I think it's been a solid line about all morning.
Well, I think our fans are probably about as excited as any one group of people can get about it. I know they're really looking forward to, well, they've looked forward to the whole state tournament, and we've been real pleased with the way they've, you know, followed this, and it's meant a lot to our ball club all year, even when we've been road games a long ways away. Our fans have followed us real well, and we're real pleased for them and for our kids that we're here.
Tell us a little bit about your undefeated season. Norris has just had a great year, and how has it gone for you? Have you ever been tested very much?
Well, we've been tested. I would say early in the year, of course, we played Seward a close ball game, and then we had Omaha Cathedral that we played, you know, a pretty good ball game against them, and did real well. Of course, we played in the Plattsmouth Holiday Tournament and got to play all that size, and I thought our kids responded very well to that situation. And I don't know, the kids have just been very solid all year, and we've been tested, and so far they've responded to every situation. Just I think probably about like they did yesterday afternoon in that Mount Michael game. It was a ball game where you know, it kind of got down to the end there, and we've had 2 or 3 games like that, and the kids just you know, when they seem to have something happen for us, it seems to happen. You know, whoever gets it done, and I think that's been a big key for our ball club all year.
Like Aurora, Norris has a lot of great balance. You count on your bench a lot.
Well, we play, you know, 9 ball players, 10 ball players quite a bit throughout the year. And, you know, we sub very, very often and quite rapidly. Our guards, you know, they go about 4 minutes, and we bring 2 more guards in. And you know, we interchange some of our big people, and we try to keep them rested. And, you know, I try to utilize my bench as best I can, and I think it's worked for us so far this year, and we hope it does so again for us today.
Who are some of your people that we should watch for?
Well, of course, all year long, Rod Kramer's been a very valuable asset to us. He's been on the boards for us. He's been our leading scorer. He can do a lot of things for us. Of course, Ross Vandergren has played extremely well for us this year. He's awful good on the boards, both ends, and can handle the ball at 6'2" extremely well. And of course, Branch DeFries in the game the other day against Broken Bow had an excellent ball game and just a solid player. And of course, our guard core has been the 4 guards that we're using in there from time to time. One of them has come in and done a real fine job for us. And of course, like today, we'll bring Lenny Hoover off the bench at 6'1" junior, and it just, you know, it's a well-balanced ball club, and they've accepted their roles real well, and well, I think we're utilizing our talent to the best of our abilities.
Has the undefeated record gotten to them a little bit? Has the pressure been on, do you think?
Oh, I don't know. I don't think they really think about it that much. We've tried to approach each ball game as one that we're going out to win, you know, and if you think of it from that standpoint, and, you know, I tell them that, you know, it doesn't make any difference if we're 25-0 right now or 0-25. You got to play the ball game, and And so what's happened in the past is gone. You know, you can't do anything about that, whether you've won or lost them. So we try to look to the future each time we go out, and that's what we're trying to do today.
How do you look at Aurora and today's ball game?
Well, it's going to be an interesting matchup, I think. You know, in looking at both of our lineups, Aurora has excellent shooting. They're probably as fine an outside shooting ball club as you're going to see in the state of Nebraska. They've got a lot of kids that can score, and of course defensively that presents a lot of problems for us. You know, so we're going to have to play a real fine defensive ball game. They have excellent quickness and speed, and even though they're not real big in there, they jump very well. So it should be you know, one that the fans should enjoy, we hope, anyway.
Okay, well, Coach Smuddy, thanks to you, and good luck to your team.
Thank you very much, Dick.
Okay, the head coaches for Norris and Aurora, and we're about set to go for today's Class B championship game, Norris and Aurora.
We're having a big sale on quality.
With me is Chuck Sinclair, the preparator for the Lincoln Journal-Star, to talk a little bit about the ratings, which you won't see until Monday's editions of the Journal and Star, but maybe we can talk a little bit about the possibilities right now. And Chuck, Lions has to figure into the picture after this big win here today, top-rated in Class C all year. They've been in the top 10. What are the pros and cons of perhaps Lions being right up there at the top of the all-class ratings, or who else would there be in the picture there?
That's a good question, Dick. There's, you know, unlimited possibilities, I guess, this year with Lincoln East's downfall towards the end of the season, right at the state tournament, and the way Norris has been playing, Lions certainly has shown they have, you know, some great basketball players and play great basketball. Class C, I think, hurts them. You know, tomorrow's going to be a big day for me because I'm not really too sure right now what I'm going to do with it. I think before the tournaments, I mentioned that to someone that Lions possibly could get in there at number 1 should Lincoln East fall early and should they be really impressive in the tournament. And I think their semifinal win over Grant may have hurt them just a little bit, beating Grant by just 5 points. That you know, they just, in Class C, you've just got to roll over everybody, and you know, that's just something I'm going to have to sit back and think about and see what comes up.
Who would be some of the other possibilities?
Well, the two teams playing tonight, Omaha Northwest and Lincoln Southeast, are both outstanding teams. They saved their best basketball for the tournaments. Both of them finished the end of the season on a rather low note. Northwest lost 3 in a row there down the stretch, and Southeast lost by 15 to Norfolk in the second to last game of the season. So, you know, but it all counts right now, and that's where they're playing the best right now. So they're both possibilities, even though neither team is rated, you know, at the end of the season. You know, you'd even have to consider Norris pending the outcome of this game because they've played some excellent basketball all season. Lincoln East, you can't throw them out. They're still a contender, and it'll all come down tomorrow. Just, you know, maybe I'll flip a coin.
As far as the Lions team is concerned, have you ever known of a lower class team to be on top of the all-class ratings?
I don't think so, not to my recollections, especially not Class C. They're undoubtedly one of the best, if not the best ever Class C team. They proved that today. The way they came out in the first half, their first half shooting percentage was just unbelievable. And you know, if there were ever a Class C team that deserved to be up at the top, I would say Lions would be it. And we'll just have to see.
How would you think Lions would stack up if they played some competition against Class A like Lincoln East and some of the Omaha schools?
Well, now they got into that summer Metro League up in Omaha, and they competed quite favorably in that. Of course, you got to look at that situation where the regular coaches are not around and the kids are on their own. But talent-wise, I think they have proven that they're top competitors. I believe they came out of that league with 2 or 3 losses, and it was pretty respectable.
Let's talk about some of the other classes. How are you doing in your predictions as far as the rest of the finals games here are going?
We're not talking about Class A. Class A has been terrible. They 4 upsets the opening day. Of course, I picked one of those right, but you know, it's really been an unbelievable class this year. But I think it's really added to the excitement. I think you're getting a lot of people interested that might not have been that way if Lincoln East would be coasting to the title. Class B right now with the final between Norris and Aurora, that's gone pretty much according to form. I think, of course, I had Norris rated number 1, Aurora number 2 the entire season, and that's what it shaped up right now. Class C, Lions, of course, was number 1, although UTAN was unrated. Class D, we've got tonight at 6:30, we've got Philly and Axtell. Again, my number 1 and 2 rated teams at the end of the regular seasons and also in preseason ratings.
What are some of the things you take into consideration when rating? I know that you have to keep a lot of records.
No, I don't. Yeah, we really, you know, you just got to keep track of all the scores in the state. You got to look at who they're playing, where they're playing. You know, you talk to different people around the state, you get their input as to how strong a team they think they are, and it's just all comes down to, you know, you just have to make a selection and hope that, you know, it's a good one.
How are you picking this next Class B game between Aurora and Norris?
Well, I'm picking Norris basically because I think they've proven to me that they can play any style of basketball. No matter what kind of team they come up against a tall team, you know, they can muscle with somebody inside. Against a shorter team, they can get up and down the floor. And Norris is an excellent basketball team. Aurora is also super. They've gotten off to some slow starts lately, and you know, it just looks like I'm going to go with Norris. It'll be close.
Okay, well, Chuck Sinclair, the preparator for the Lincoln Journal-Star, my thanks for stopping by, and look for Chuck's ratings in the Monday paper, and we'll see just how those all-class top 10s come out, see where Lions can be. Again, my thanks to Chuck, and we'll be back with more and that Class B matchup between Aurora and Norris after this time.
Back at the Bob Devaney Sports Center as you look at part of the Norris crowd. If you look for Norris on the map, it isn't really there because it's a combination of many communities south of Lincoln and Lancaster and Gage County, places like Roca, Panama, Hickman, Firth, Cortland, Holland, Hallam, Princeton, Cheney, and many others. First time to the state for this particular ball club. They're 25-0 this year, coached by Jerry Smuddy in his third year. Aurora lost in the semifinals last year to Madison. They were the 76 champions. Bill Holliday in his 8th year as coach. They're 22-1. Their only loss 64-62 to Plattsmouth a month and a day ago. Aurora located on Highway 34 just north of I-80, about 20 miles west of York, between York and Grand Island, a town of about 3,200. We said they won the 76B title. They also won another state title back in 1920 in Class F when they beat Bladen 17-14. The starters for Norris come from Firth, from Cortland, and from Hickman. So it is really an area team, if you want to call it that, not represented by one community alone. And the Norris fans, of course, are Hardy fans. There's Mr. Bidek, father of Ron Bidek, one of our engineers, and the better-looking male for that particular family. Aurora, they've been here before, lost just once, as we mentioned, to Plattsmouth, 64-62. And they're a fine ball club. Offensively, they average about 73 points a ball game, defensively giving up 56. Norris, on the other hand, offensively just over 67 points a ball game. Defensively, they have allowed just an average of 40 points per ball game. And Joe, I don't know how much of a chance you've had this year to see either of these particular ball clubs.
Mark, I had a chance to see them both play during the year, and naturally they played against Plattsmouth, who was an awfully fine team as well. And I think this is a great matchup. Norris has a very well-balanced basketball team. They do a lot of things. They use a lot of different presses. They use the man-to-man in the zone. They have good scoring and a good band inside. Of course, Aurora probably is a little quicker, plays a tough man-to-man defense, uses the press a great deal, and has a great player in Penner, who's a fine ball handler and a good shooter. He's had a broken thumb, and that's hurt him a little bit, but he's really a great shooter from outside and can play all over the court. And I think it's really a great matchup. As you know, both teams have had great seasons, and they're both coached by fine basketball coaches, and I think it's going to really be a fine basketball game. I don't think it'll be as lopsided as this last game that we saw.
Aurora, when they lost that ball game to Plattsmouth, did not have Penner. He came back to play. He had a broken thumb, as I understand it, and they were behind in that ball game 12-0, and then only lost it by 2 points.
I believe that's right. I think Norris is the type of team that just keeps coming at you. They're very sound on the boards. They shoot from all over, and they also can get the ball inside and have a big power inside play.
The Class B game is about to get underway. The Class B championship game is brought to you in part by Rob Seco and your Golden Harvest dealer, and by your local Big Eye independent insurance agent. We'll be back with the introduction of the starting lineups after this timeout. Devaney Sports Center on St. Patrick's Day, 1979. You take a look at Coach Bill Holliday of Aurora. His team, 22-1. They beat Cozad and Sydney here in the tournament. Norris, coached by Jerry Smuddy, 25-0. They beat Broken Bow and Elkhorn. Now here's Roy Churchill with the introduction of the players.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Class B Boys State Basketball Championship game between the visiting Aurora Huskies and the homestanding Norris Titans. Starting lineups follow. The non-starters for Aurora: number 11, Richard Arnold; number 13, Steve Rosehart; number 31, Greg Holliday; number 41, Maury Haydenfeld; number 51, Mike McCard; number 53, Dale Moore; and number 55, Ron Baugh. Non-starters for Norris: number 4, Mark Majewski; number 12, Ross Robertson; number 14, Craig Prange; number 20, Kent Altman; number 32, Lenny Hoover; number 42, Todd Wicken; and number 50, Steve Elzey. Starting at forward for Aurora, a 6'1" junior, number 33, Kevin Penner. For Norris, a 6'2" senior, number 40, Ross Vandergrun. At the other forward for the Huskies, a 6'2" junior, number 43, Mike Johnson. The other forward for the Titans, 6'2" senior, number 34, Branch DeVries. Starting at center for Aurora, 6'2" senior, number 35, Dan Ediger. For Norris, 6'5" senior, number 44, Rod Kramer. Starting at guard for Aurora, 6'1" senior, number 21, Mitch Carter. For Norris, 5'10" senior, number 10, Mark Sheppy. At the other guard for the Huskies, 6' senior, number 23, David Haas. For the Titans, 5'10" senior, number 22, Tim Elzey. The coach at Aurora, Bill Holliday. And at Norris, Bill Schmoody.
Well, Joe, there it is, the matchup in Class B.
I tell you, both these coaches do an excellent job. We've had them both in our camps over the years, and I think Bill Holliday used to be a sergeant in the Marines, so that gives you a pretty good idea that he has a lot of discipline on his club, and he has a type of team that can score 10 or 12 points in no time. So if he gets down a little bit, that doesn't mean that he's out of it. They have good speed and quickness. Of course, Jerry Schmuddy has done an excellent job in bringing this group together. He's got good size, and he's got a well-balanced basketball team. They use a lot of different defenses, and you have to be smart to play against them.
All right, the officials, the one you see right out there wearing number 6 is Rudy Storr. The other official is Brian Groskup, working this Class B championship game. In Class C, the winner, Lions, undefeated, 26 in a row. They beat UTAN 75-41, and Norris would like to duplicate that record. They're 25-0. They'd like to win a championship with 26-0. You know, I think back, Joe, UTAN may have gone downhill after that timeout before the opening tip. I had forgotten about that.
Well, you know, I talked to the officials after the game, and they didn't really know if you could call a timeout before it starts, and I don't see how you could.
All right. Norris is in the light uniforms, the white uniforms, Aurora in the red. He played in the forecourt, the Titans, for the first time. The Titans are 25-0. 34 is DeVries. 10 is Sheppy. 40 is Vandergren. They go deep to the big guy, Kramer. His jump shot won't go home. And the rebound is controlled by the Titans, and there's a foul underneath, as the rebound was taken by Sheppy. And we'll have to wait until they come out and tell us who it was. The foul is on Carter, Mitch Carter.
Aurora's playing a man-to-man defense. They've got Penner on the big guy, which is really going to be a tough job for him. Penner's only 6'1", and Kramer's 6'5", so he's got his hands full trying to keep him from getting the ball inside.
Mark Sheppy at the line, 5'10" senior. will get 2, and there's the first point of the ball game. First point ever in a state tournament for Norris. Their first trip here. Jerry Smuddy in his 3rd year as head coach. At the charity line, they were 19 of 32 yesterday, 18 of 26 in the first round. He hit them both, and Norris leads 2-0 as Aurora will play it up court against the press.
2-2-1 zone press.
Penner is 33, Johnson is 43, Ediger is 35. Johnson, they loop it down deep to Penner. He's triple teamed. The shot by Johnson is no good. Rebound taken by Sheppy. Sheppy has it for Norris. A long pass up court to Elsie. Right at the baseline, he saves it. Bounces deep underneath. Laid up by DeVries. Good. Wrench DeVries. And early in the ball game, Norris leads 4-0. Carter in the backcourt along with Haas. Ediger has the ball. Ediger still on the drive.
Aurora's a good ball handling team, and the press shouldn't bother him much. There's Penner.
He missed it, and the rebound is to Rod Kramer, 6'5" senior. And the foul is charged to Mike Johnson.
See, we got to talk about that play there. There wasn't any harm in that play. I didn't think there should be a call made. They've got to let that go, and I thought the officials in the first game let that type of play go, and we've seen 2 calls here already with that same kind of bumping inside.
4-0. Norris leads with 6:40 to go as they play it against the press in the backcourt. Elsie is 22, plays against Haas. Up on top is DeVries. On the left side, Vandergren holds the ball and feeds it in the corner to Elsie. Norris is a disciplined ball club. Both of these are. Both ball clubs will wait for that opportunity. The big guy, Kramer, can't control it. The ball is out of bounds. The pass by Vandergren was just a little bit high. 6:13 remaining first quarter.
I tell you, the Norris really posts a lot of people up with their inside game, so you really have to be alert to play the defense inside. You can't let them catch it inside because they're too big.
Carter's long jump shot. No good. Rebound, battle for, and the Titans have it. DeVries. 4-0. Norris with the ball and that lead. Vandergren. DeVries. Big guy Kramer's out on top. DeVries looked at the basket but turned it down. We played 2.5 minutes. 4-0. Norris with the ball in the lead. Elsie. To Vandergren. Offensive foul. Charge to Branch DeVries.
Norris is running good motion in their offense and interchanging their post play, and it makes it tough if you don't stay alert on the defense and come over the screens. You're going to be in trouble. And right now, Aurora is doing a good job on the defensive part of it.
5:28 remaining first quarter. 4-0 your score. Aurora brings the ball into the court, their forecourt. Ediger has it. Ediger puts up an 18-footer. Bad shot. Loose ball. Rebound grab by Elsie of Norris. Spun completely around, but kept that pivot foot down. So Aurora getting one crack at it, and that's about it. DeVries gives to Vandergren. He walked with the ball.
I think right now you're finding Aurora being a little nervous. They're having a little trouble. That once they get that first basket, I think it'll make a big difference to the team. But right now they're having a tough time getting it down, and they haven't worked very hard, at least the ball very much, in order to get a good shot. So we'll wait and see what happens this time. This is about their 5th trip down.
Again, it's brought up by Ediger. 4-0, Norris leads. Aurora looking for that first point. We've played over 3 minutes. Ediger to Carter. Carter's 16-footer won't go. Rebound loose. Laid up by Ediger. No good, but he was fouled. The second effort would not count. And the foul is charged to Vandergren. And going to the line will be Dan Ediger, a 6'2" senior. At the free throw line yesterday, Aurora hit 18 of 23. They hit 14 of 23 in the victory over Cozad. Beat Cozad by 2, and last night stumbled a lot, I guess, in the first half, but then beat Sydney by 13. Ediger gets the first Aurora point of the ballgame. It comes with 4:45 left to go in the first quarter. Norris leads it 4-1. This is Class B championship.
Mark, I noticed one thing. Norris has changed their defense already in the first 3 or 4 minutes. They've played a man-to-man and a zone. Penner plays inside against the zone or outside, and I noticed when he was inside, they really dropped on him. So they're really concentrating their defense on Penner.
Elsie has the ball for Norris. They lead it 4-2. 32 Hoover is in the ball game now. They feed it deep to DeVries, to Kramer, to Hoover. Back it goes again to DeVries. Out front to Sheppy. Too strong. Rebound. Battle for out of bounds. Last touch by Kramer. It'll belong to Aurora. So in the ball game for Norris early was Hoover. Substitutions coming to the ball game, and the Titans, Joe, will substitute quite a bit, as we're going to see in this ball game.
They've already substituted the third player here in this short amount of time, so he's gone to his bench all year, and Jerry has felt that he's got plenty of depth.
Robertson and Oltman have come into the ball game for Norris. Ediger has the ball for Aurora. They trail 4-2 with 4:12 remaining first quarter. Penner, Kevin Penner, a 6'1 junior. Haase is 23. Haase in the lane, turnaround 14-footer is no good. Rebound is cleared away by Hoover. Hoover has it for Norris. They lead 4-2. Well, the scoring pace here in the first quarter of this game a little less than it was in this T game. Oltman to Hoover. Feed it in the lane and a foul on Penner.
Well, right now, Aurora's had a tough time getting into their offense. I think Norris has done an excellent job defensively in forcing them out of what they like to do, and they've taken a lot of shots that probably aren't good percentage shots.
Timeout with 3:43 left to go. First quarter, it's Norris 4 and Aurora 2. To action as Norris will play the ball from the baseline on their own forecourt. It'll be tossed in by Kenton Oltman. He's another player from Cortland. As we said, they're from various communities down south of Lincoln. 32 is Hoover. Long jump shot by Oltman is good.
Aurora went to a zone, and they hit from outside.
Oltman gets his first 2 points, and Norris leads 6-2. Haas is 23 for Aurora. They're 22 in one of the 2-point loss to Plattsmouth, 64-62. Norris, of course, has not lost a ball game. Penner to Johnson in the lane to Ediger, and he's tied up. Good defense
you see, Mark,
by Norris.
they're starting to get a little motion now. Aurora's been tight, and they have to get some motion in their offense and get the ball to Penner, because he's the one that's going to carry them offensively.
6-2 Norris leads. The jump ball is at the Aurora free throw line. Ball is taken by Norris. With the ball is Hoover. They'll go to the bench a lot during the course of a ball game. That's why nobody on this particular team has had a high scoring average. Hoover out front, guarded by Ediger. Gets it into the circle, 15 feet away, doesn't shoot, gives it to Oltman. And Oltman comes out front. DeVries to Hoover. Very patient ball club, Joe. That's Robertson, number 12, and it goes to DeVries. His jump shot is no good. Rebound is cleared away by Ediger. That one wouldn't go. A long pass up to Haas. The pass put him off target a little bit. His jump shot no good, and the rebound is taken by Norris. Norris up the court. Hoover, 14-foot jump shot, won't go in. Rebound is taken by Ediger, lost out of bounds, but last touch by Norris. And Aurora will play at the length of the court. Coming back into the ball game now is Vandegren for Norris. And going out is Kramer. So none of the all the starters have spent some time, I believe, on the bench already for Norris. 2:21 to go first quarter, 6-2 Norris leads. This is Class B. Class D at 6:30. Class A will be at 8:30. Carter brings it in for Aurora, coached by Bill Holliday, his 8th year as head coach at Aurora. They lost in the semifinals a year ago. Penner gives to Johnson. He walked with the ball. Aurora playing a little nervous right now, Joe.
They're having a tough time getting to their offense, and certainly you got to give timeout. You got to give Norris credit for the defense they're doing. They're a good job on Jerry Schmutty's part from the defensive standpoint.
Talking about some of these ball players again for Norris, as we mentioned, not many players averaging in double figures. Rod Kramer averaged over 13 points, and Vandegren averaged 10, but then it dropped off considerably. While for Aurora, their leading scorers were Penner with a 15.6 average, Haas at a 14.5, Carter a 13.6, and Johnson a 12.6 offensively. Aurora, as you see him there, averaged 73 points a ball game, defensively giving up 56 per ball game. Norris, on the other hand, defensively about 16 points tougher, as they give up an average of only 40 points a ball game, and offensively not quite as strong, as they average 67.2 points per ball game. In the district tournaments to get here, Norris defeated Auburn 82-50, Nebraska City 64-54, and Plattsmouth by 11, 47-36. And Aurora in district competition beat Central City 70-63 and York 74-51. And now Aurora will press down court. Norris 25-0. First trip to the state tournament ever.
This is where they've played well on the defensive end as far as their full court press is concerned.
Altman has the ball on the left side. Looks for Hoover. Short jump shot is no good. Rebound to Ediger. Long baseball pass to Penner. Penner has it, lays it up, and gets a bucket, and it's fouled.
They got to count it. They should have counted it.
He gets his first 2 points.
He's not going to give it to him, I tell you.
They're not going to give it to him. 2-0. The foul is on Altman. That's like pro basketball, Joe. Sometimes when you got the motion going, in pro basketball, that would have been counted. But it's just an offensive, rather a foul, but not a non-shooting type. Crowd estimated at 9,800. Shot is no good. Rebound is taken by Hoover, and he's fouled by Ediger. Well, Joe, your guess at 10,000 wasn't too bad. They're estimating 9,800 here. You probably get, what, 1 penny for every admission? Is that?
No, I don't.
Don't want to start that rumor, huh?
I don't think that happened.
We're still in the first quarter, and we're late in the first quarter, and not much scoring in the first quarter. Minute 47 to go, and Norris leads it out here by the score of 6-2. They've never trailed. They led early 4-0. Robertson, guarded by Haas. DeVries, Vandergren, deep in the lane to Hoover, muscles his way, jump shot good.
Norris has had an awful lot of easy shots inside the last couple of minutes, and they haven't dropped for him, and if they did, this game would be really in bad shape for Aurora. They're pretty lucky they haven't gone down.
Ediger has the ball for Aurora to Mike Johnson. Left side, it's to Haas, and his shot's no good. And again, they're getting but one shot.
They haven't had a field goal yet this half, and I know Bill Holliday's
got to be a little upset about that.
Well, they've missed a couple lay-ins because they're releasing a guy early down the court, and they haven't been able to make a good pass to him, and that really hurts.
Ediger missed the first shot, and then the tip was missed by Penner, and then a foul is committed.
I don't know who they called.
I think the foul this time was on DeVries. No, they're calling it 3-3 red. That would be on Penner. It would be his second foul. And we're in the 1-1 situation now. 8-2 is your score, and if you've just joined us, we're less than a minute to go in the first quarter. Not much scoring here.
I think Norris has played some Class A teams this year, if I'm not mistaken, and certainly they've been in a tough district, and to get out of that district, they had to go against Plattsmouth, who certainly had a fine basketball team with the big guy inside, as you know, McFarland, and I know they had an excellent 2 games with them. The first one was not very close, but the second one was a very close game.
Altman at the line is Dave Moore, a 6'5 senior, is checked in to replace Penner. Free throw is good. He'll get the bonus. And going out now is Haas, and coming in the ball game is Greg Holliday, a 6'1 sophomore.
That's the son of Coach Holliday.
9-2. Norris leads out here by 7. First trip to the state tournament for the Titans. Free throw walked its way down and through. 10-2. Norris leads it by 8 as they press in the backcourt. Robertson. A lot of time. Ediger finally bounces the ball away to Holliday.
Had a good double team. Norris almost had the ball stolen.
Aurora has not picked up a basket here in the first quarter. Holliday's long one-hander. Well, he heard me, Joe. He wasn't going to let that go anymore. Holliday gets the first basket for Aurora. They trail 10-4. We're late in the first quarter.
Well, that should help them because they've been concerned about that. Even though psychologically they've known they haven't had a chance to get in their offense.
Aurora back on defense. Will Norris go for one shot? They might. We're down to 15 seconds. Vandergren to Kramer, the big guy. Cross court to Hoover. Inside it goes to Altman. Baseline jump shot, no good. Rebound at the baseline, out of bounds. Last touch by Norris.
3 seconds.
Aurora will have to play at the length of the court in just 3 seconds.
They got Penner on the bench with 2 fouls, and that's...
He's playing with a cast sort of on his one hand with that broken thumb. He walked with the ball in the backcourt. Johnson did before he got that shot away with 1 second. A kind of a break for Norris as they'll play it in their forecourt. See how much pressure Aurora puts on the ball. Or who Norris might break clean here. The clock starts when somebody on the floor touches it. There it is. Altman can't get the shot away. It wasn't a bad effort. At the end of the first quarter, your score is Norris 10 and Aurora 4. Look at the crowd of some 9,800 estimated here at the Bob Devaney Sports Center as we set to go into the second quarter of Class B. Norris in the white and Aurora in the red. Norris leads it by the score of 10-4. Norris seeking its 26th consecutive win. Tip goes to the Titans of Norris in the backcourt, and they finally get it across the dividing line as they put some of the starters back in the ballgame. Elsie is back in the ballgame. Hoover remains in there. Kramer has the ball. This is Hoover, 16-foot jump shot. In and out, no good. Rebound is cleared away by Holiday for Aurora. And here come the Huskies, who trail 10-4. Holiday with the ball over his head, bounces left side to Johnson. Johnson had trouble with the ball, gives it to Ediger. Ediger goes into the lane. Short jump shot off balance. A great effort there. He had nowhere to go but to the basket and got it through. 10-6. Aurora now down by only 4. Elsie brings the ball across the dividing line, slapped away by Haas, who commits the foul. His first, but the 1-and-1 is in effect. Free throws will play an important part in the last 7 minutes and 16 seconds of this first half. The Titans coming into this ballgame at the free throw line have hit 37 of 58 in the tournament and in the ballgame tonight, or this afternoon rather. They're 2 for 2. The NCAA, Joe, Indiana State still for real as they beat Arkansas by 2, 57-55.
Oh, that's a big win for Indiana State. Of course, Arkansas looks like they slowed the game down. They've got the type of team that could do that because they got good ball handlers. That's a big win. That puts Indiana State in the last 4.
Right. Elsie hits the free throw his first. He's a senior, 5'10", average 5 points. He calls his mailing address Portland, as do several of the other regulars on this Norris ball club. He hit them both. 12-6, bad pass. The Norris pressure bothering the Huskies just a little bit. They didn't need that right there, Joe.
Norris is starting to upset
That's the
them.
third quarter. Let's take it back. Indiana State hasn't won it yet. That's third quarter. Bad information we gave out.
That's good.
Now they'll play it from the baseline.
Well, right now, the tempo has been controlled by Norris. There's no question about it. Their press is bothering them, their board play is bothering them, and their pressure defense has been good. And they're really in trouble when they don't have their big ball handler and their scorer in center.
Great effort by Kramer. The pass was bad at his feet. He got it up, and now Aurora is down by 8 as they play it in their forecourt. Moore gives it to Haas. Haas at the top of the circle, bounces left side to Ediger. This is Holiday. Haas goes baseline, trying to get it over top of Kramer, and Kramer's a little bit of a height advantage. Holiday guarded by Elsie, bounces right side to Haas. That's Moore's 14-footer is no good. Rebound is taken by Hoover, clears it ahead to Elsie. Stepped out of bounds across the way. Pass was a little behind him. He tried to spin around and stay in bounds as they whipped the ball out to the side.
Right now, Aurora's got their big man in, Dave Moore, who's giving them a little more board play, and they're handling the ball a little bit more. They come back with Penner, and now I think you'll see him work a little more for a good shot here. There's
Moore. There's Holiday. Gets the shot off the glass. No good. Rebound. Battle for. And we're going to have a jump ball. No, a great effort.
There's no jump.
Great effort there by Hoover.
Good.
Hoover cleared the ball away to Shippey. Down deep.
2 more.
To DeVries. He's fouled. The will would not have gone or would not have counted.
Oh, yeah, it would have counted.
You guessed wrong. You guessed the wrong first time.
Yeah.
All right.
Rudy would have called that one, though.
Okay. Rudy Storr, one of the 2 officials, as Mike Johnson checks back into the ball game. Foul was on Moore, his first. And going to the line is Branch DeVries. He also calls Cortland, his hometown. There's one of the Aurora cheerleaders praying that the free throw won't go in. DeVries had 21 points in the victory over Broken Bow, had only 3 yesterday. He has 3 already today. At the charity line, they're now 7 for 7. Kramer comes out, and going back in is Vandergren. So Coach Smutty continues to shuffle those players, keeps them fresh. 15-6, Norris leads by 9, 6:19 to go in the half. It was 10-4 at the end of the first period. That looked like my son. It was. Free throw is good by DeVries. His mother is up celebrating St. Patrick's Day in O'Neill, Joe, and we wish everybody up that way a very happy St. Patrick's Day. Ediger weaving his way through heavy traffic. The Holiday. They put a lot of pressure on the ball, Joe. He finally just puts it at the basket. It's no good. Rebound to Hoover, and he's fouled from behind by Mike Johnson. The 1-and-1 is in effect as Johnson commits his second foul.
There's another questionable call.
8 for 8 at the charity line for Norris. 2 for 2 for Aurora. As coming back in is Mitch Carter, and going out is Greg Holliday. 16-6, Norris leads. This is Class B. At 6:30 tonight, it's Class D, and at 8:30, Class A. Hoover at the line. Lenny is a 6'1 junior. There's a miss. Too strong. Rebound. Battle for, and Norris comes up with it. Vandergren came up with that loose ball. Great effort there by the Titans. They've never trailed in this ball game. That's DeVries, had a shot knocked away, but it's taken by Elsie. To Hoover. To Elsie.
There he is.
That's Sheppy. Over the top. No good. Rebound taken by Vandergren, but he may have committed a foul.
I tell you, Mark, Norris is big and strong, and they just keep working their offense, and they eventually get it inside, and they've done an excellent job on keeping that offense going.
Foul was on Vandergren. Timeout. 5:36 to go in the half. It's Norris 16 and Aurora 6. It's Class B, and Norris leads out here 16-6 over Aurora with 5:36 left to go in the half. They led 10-4 at the quarter, and Norris pressures it on the inbound play. Looking, finally loops it into Penner. Penner playing with that cast, not really a cast, a bandage on his left hand, has a bad thumb. Suffered that injury before they played against Plattsmouth. Reverse layup, great effort there by Penner. Went underneath, never touched the glass. Got it through the hoop, 16-8. Norris leads out here by 8 as they play in their forecourt. DeVries, a little more pressure being applied now by Norris. That's Crange, number 14, who's in the ball game for the first time. Elsie is number 22. We're down to 5 minutes remaining in the half. DeVries and the big guy Kramer just muscled his way to the board.
They're big and strong, and they just keep coming at you.
That's his 4th point for Kramer. 18-8, Norris by 10. A nice drive by Haase, but a bad selection of shot maybe. Ball is still belongs to Aurora. Johnson, Carter, and Haas. This is Johnson. Long shot. No good. Rebound taken by Elsie. Maybe a bad selection of shot. Maybe not patient enough, Bill.
Well, I think, Mark, that Norris has been able to use a lot of substitutions. They've used them all 3 games, and certainly playing 3 games in a row like this, it takes something out of you. And right now, Aurora doesn't look like they have the edge that they've had all year because they just don't have the depth.
Crange missed that shot for Norris just a moment ago. Norris leads 18-8. Ediger for the Huskies. Huskies give it to Penner, and he's a little too strong. Rebound tipped around, taken by Sheppy. A 1-on-3 or a 2-on-3. Sheppy sets it up now, still has the dribble. 3:50 to go in the half. 18-8, Norris with the ball in the lead. Sheppy, DeVries, Crange, Kramer, 2 points. 6 points for Kramer. Norris with its biggest lead, 12 points, 20-8, 3.5 minutes left in the half. The Huskies of Coach Holliday, another bad selection of a shot there, Joe. Clear the ball ahead to DeVries. 2-on-1, DeVries on the drive. It went in, a great effort. No foul called, and I tell you what, that ball danced around and finally dropped in. 6 points. 22-8 now, Norris by 14. Aurora's got to come up with something, Joe, on this trip down. They feed it underneath to Penner. His shot is no good, and there's Norris with the rebound. Here come the Titans, leading 22-8. Elsie picked up by Haas. They bounced it underneath. Jump shot by Prange, no good. Kramer with a rebound, no good. He was fouled. And 5 substitutions in the ball game, 3 for Norris and 2 for Aurora. And the foul, I believe, is on Haas, his second.
Greens has been a big help to the Norris team. He's very strong inside. He can post up. And if you can't cover him inside, he's missed some easy shots in the first quarter, and now he's coming back, and I'm sure their whole team is going to hurt Aurora on the board.
They've been tough. Rod Kramer at the line for 2 hits, the first one. Rod is from Cortland. He's a 6'5" senior, and he has now in the ball game 7 points. They've all come here in the second quarter. He hit them both. 24-8. Aurora has scored but 4 points here in the second quarter. 14 for Norris. They've not exactly burned everything up. This is Holiday to Carter. Long one-hander is good. Carter hit it from the corner.
They've been on 8 a long time. They're glad to get off of it.
24-10. Norris leads by 14. We're in the second quarter of this Class B championship game. Lions won in Class C, 75-41 over UTAN. Kramer, the big guy, is outside. Looks for the cutter. It's Oltman. Loose ball. Kramer has it. We're down to 2:05 in the half. The drive by Hoover, too strong. Foul is on Kramer. And a 1-and-1 will be in effect. First foul on Kramer. Coming back in the ball game for Norris is Ross Vandergren. And going to the line will be Dave Moore. Moore, the 6'5" senior. Class D will be undefeated Philly against undefeated Axtell. And then in Class A, there's teams that were seeded 7th and 8th will be battling it out for the championship. DeVries back in the ballgame, and Prange goes out.
You know, it's really hard to tell, Mark. We sort of thought this would be a lot closer game, and maybe it'll come back here for Aurora. But right now, Norris has really controlled the tempo of the game with their defense and with their offense. They've just played extremely well in all areas of the game. They've done a good job on the boards, and right now Aurora's going to have to get some kind of a different tempo here in order to pick up, and it looks like they're a little tired.
Moore hit the first one and missed the second one. Ball loose on the floor and taken by Aurora. Again, good hustle by Branch DeVries. Oltman has the ball for the Titans, who lead 24-11. Robertson is in the ball game. 32 is Hoover. Down deep, it goes to Vandergren, and Vandergren gets the bucket. His first 2 points. He hasn't scored much in the tournament. He did not score in the first ball game and had 8 points yesterday. 26-11. Norris leads by 15 with a minute and a half remaining in the first half. Carter with the dribble, turnaround jump shot, good. Carter has hit a couple of big baskets for Aurora. He has 4 points. He's been pretty much their offense here in the second quarter. Norris has doubled the score at 26-13. Ball knocked out of bounds. Lost, they set off the fingertip of Vandergren as it was slapped away by Penner. We have a timeout, I believe, or do we? Timeout with 1:13 to go in the half. It's 26 for Norris and 13 for Aurora. And 13 seconds remaining in the first half. Norris leads at 26-13 over Aurora. Aurora in the red. They trailed 10-4 at the end of the first quarter. Moore is in the ball game. Dave did not start. He's 6'5" senior. This is Mitch Carter. He was a starter. Mitch at the right side, out to Holiday. Holiday has the ball knocked away, but gets it back and then almost double dribbled.
They keep the pressure on you all the time. There's always pressure on the ball.
Carter missed that one. He had hit 2 in a row. And a foul, is going to be charged to Oltman. Oltman's second. It'll be a 1-and-1 situation, and going to the line will be Dave Moore. 51 seconds remaining here in the first half. Norris leads at 26-13. At halftime, the Star Strutters from Lincoln Northeast will be entertaining us. They're sponsored by Mrs. Karen Floor. Coming in the ballgame, Rod Kramer is back. Also coming in now is Mark Sheppy. Going out, Vandergren, and also leaving Oltman. We've seen just about everybody, I think, for Norris. Majeski hasn't played yet. One of the mothers of the participants in this ball game. Free throw is no good. Rebound going high is Branch DeVries to get it for Norris. First trip to the state tournament for the Titans, and they lead here 26-13 with 40 seconds remaining in the half.
Oh, there
good
he is.
feed to Kramer underneath, blew it. Rebound to Moore. Didn't want to shoot it from that side, I don't think, but he even had a clear shot on the other side and let it get away from him. Holiday looking for help. Carter again, he misses again. Rebound taken by Kramer. 20 seconds to go in the half. Kramer to DeVries, to Hoover, 2 points. He has 4 points in the ball game. We're down to 8 seconds, 28-13. We're down to 6.
Very sound team. They've really done an excellent. They
3,
played an exceptionally
2.
first half.
Carter throws it up.
Good.
It's good. He hit it right at the buzzer. The basket is good by Carter. So your score at halftime is Norris 28 and Aurora 15. Bob Devaney Sports Center halftime of the Class B game with Norris leading Aurora 28-15. We're looking at the Star Strutters from Lincoln Northeast High School, sponsored by Mrs. Karen Ford. Joe, some of your comments in the first half of this B game.
Well, Norris has really played exceptionally good first half. They've played good defense. They've been on the boards. They've run their offense, and they've taken Aurora out of anything that they've wanted to do. Aurora's been a pressing team with a lot of speed and a lot of fast breaking, and they've had Penner as their main offensive threat, and they've taken away any Penner's play, and he's only had a couple baskets.
One basket for 2 points.
Right now, I'd say that Norris has got complete control of the game. The tempo's in their favor. They're playing awfully well, and it looks a little bit like Aurora is running down. They've played 3 games in a row, and they've had to work hard all year with small kids, and the big, powerful players from Norris are making a difference.
Okay, here it's halftime, 28-15. Norris leads Aurora after leading 10-4 at the end of the first quarter. Let's give a watch and listen to the Star Strutters. Star-Strutters of Lincoln Northeast High School entertaining here at halftime. Unofficially scoring for Norris. Vandergren has 2, DeVries has 6, Kramer has 8, Sheppy and Elsie 2 each, Oltman and Hoover have 4 each. For Aurora, Penner has 2, Edgar has 4, Carter has 6, Holiday has 2, and Moore has 1. Norris led at the end of the first quarter 10-4, and they lead here at halftime 28-15. Nobody on either ball club has more than a couple of fouls. Right now, Dick Janda tells us how these two teams got to the championship game.
Undefeated Norris and once-beaten Aurora have been number 1 and number 2 in Class B all year long, so their matchup in the championship finals has been anticipated all season. Both teams have great balance as displayed in their opening round tournament wins. Norris blasted Broken Bow 74-43 in the quarterfinals, dominating the Indians all the way. Ranch DeVries scored a game-high 21 points to lead the Titans, who grabbed an early lead and never let go. Rod Kramer added 11, and Tim Elsie 10, as Norris hit 28 of 57 shots from the field, compared to just 15 of 32 for Broken Bow, which was plagued by turnovers and poor free throw shooting all day. In the semifinals, Norris beat Elkhorn Mount Michael 47-36, but had to come up with a big fourth quarter to win it. Kramer led the Titans with 16 points. Mount Michael pulled within 4 at 36-32 after 3 periods. Norris came out in the fourth to outscore the Knights 11-4, though, and the Titans are in the championship finals in their first time ever at the state tournament, and with an undefeated 25-0 record, no less. There's 2 more of Kramer's 16. Mount Michael's Steve DiGiacinto, the tourney's leading Class B scorer, was held to just 11, and Norris wins 47-36. Aurora, shown here in white, used its usual balance and speed to shade Cozad 66-64 in the opening round in its bracket. 4 Huskies hit double figures as Kevin Pinner and Dave Haase scored 14 each, and Mitch Carter and Mike Johnson added 12 apiece to lead the way. Cozad led 38-35 at halftime and 54-48 after 3 periods, but a strong fourth quarter turned the tide Aurora's way. Johnson's lay-in with 3 seconds left gave the Huskies the margin of victory and the semifinal berth, while Cozad went home with a 17-5 record. Haymaker Mark McCune led all scorers individually with 23 points, but Aurora wins it 66-64. In the semifinals last night, Aurora, now in red, had to rally to beat Sydney 65-51. The Huskies suffered through a dismal second quarter, and Sydney took a 27-20 halftime edge. Aurora, however, scored just before intermission with that basket to bring them within 7. That margin had been 27-14 with just over a minute remaining in the second quarter, but Aurora came out gunning in the second half and won easily. Down by 11 in the third quarter, Aurora reeled off 10 unanswered points and took the lead for good with 2:30 remaining in that period. Again, it was a balanced Husky scoring attack as Mitch Carter led the way with 18, Dave Haase added 10, and Mike Johnson 9. Mike Sheeman led Sydney with 18 points as the Red Raiders finished the season 20-4. So 2 teams with great balance, Norris and Aurora, battle it out for the 1979 Class B state championship, and that's how they got to the finals along the tournament trail.
There's a golden harvest.
Devaney Sports Center. It's still halftime of the Class B championship game with Norris leading out here by the score of 28-15. We've got Indiana State beating Arkansas. Joe, you said on the last second shot?
On the last second shot with about 1 second to go on the clock, and the game's over.
A big win for Indiana State as they get to the Final Four in the NCAA. Again, reviewing the scoring in this Class B game. For Norris, Vandergren a basket for 2. DeVries has 2 baskets, 2 free throws, 6. Kramer had 3 baskets, 2 free throws, 8 points in the second quarter. Sheppy 2 free throws in the first period for 2. Elsie 2 free throws in the second period for 2. Oltman a basket and 2 free throws in the first quarter for 4. Hoover a couple of baskets for 4. So at the charity line, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 of 11 attempts in the first half for Norris, and that is a lot of their 13-point lead. For Aurora, Penner a basket, 2 points. Edgar has a basket and 2 free throws for 4. Carter 3 baskets for 6. Holiday a basket for 2, and Moore has 1 free throw for a point. So for the Huskies, they have 6 baskets and 3 free throws for their 15 points. In the personal foul department for Norris, Vandergren has 2, and Oatman has 2. DeVries and Kramer 1 each. For Aurora, Penner has 2, Johnson has 2, and Haas has 2, while Ediger, Carter, and Moore have 1 foul apiece. In the Class C championship game this afternoon, Lions roll to a 75-41 victory over Utan as Jeff Hayes had 30 points for Lions. In the first half, Norris hit 9 of 25 shots. That's only 36%, but they out-rebounded Aurora 20-10. Aurora hit just 6 of 27 shots in the first half, and that's a low 22%. Norris leads out here at halftime 28-15, and we'll be back with third quarter action after this timeout. Tournament basketball today, as we mentioned, in that NCAA, Indiana State with a 73-71 win over Arkansas. And Joe, maybe the Sycamores are for real now that they're in that last 4.
Well, they've gotten better, I think, in my way of looking at their team. Certainly their guard is an excellent player, and they've got a big, strong forward inside. And with Bird, their offensive punch, they've got to be an excellent basketball team. I'm sure that they'll have a tough time as anybody would have in the Final Four. UCLA looks like they've got a chance now. They're a big, strong team that can do a lot of things well. And I'm sure that St. John's, and I forget the Penn play for the opportunity to go to Salt Lake City, and that'll be a tough game as well.
How about this one? Kind of a tough uphill battle for Aurora.
Aurora's going to really have to change the tempo here. Right now, they're going to have to get the ball to Kevin Penner, I think. That's been their offensive punch all year, and right now, Norris has taken that away from them, and it looks like it could be trouble city for Aurora unless they get things turned around.
Aurora's in the red uniforms, and they'll be going from west to east here at the Bob Devaney Sports Center in this final 16 minutes of the Class B championship game. At 6:30 tonight, it's Class D, and at 8:30, it's Class A. Tip is controlled by Aurora. 23 is Haas. Carter is 21. Penner is in the ballgame. He's 33. Ediger is 35, and Johnson, who has the ball, is 43. Nice block by Kramer, but the foul is called. Kramer commits his 3rd foul, and Joe, that might spoil a little bit of trouble down the road for the Titans.
Well, he's a big key inside for him because he's strong and he's a good board player. That's his 2nd foul.
It's only his 2nd foul, so he's not as bad off as we thought. At the charity line will be Mike Johnson, a 6'2 senior, hits the first one. 28-16, that's his first point of the ball game. He averaged 12-6 during the season. He hit them both. There'll be no pressure by Aurora, at least the first time down the court for the Titans, who lead 28-17. Norris in the white, battling for the Class B championship, their first trip ever to the state tournament. Vandergren feeds it deep, loose ball out of bounds. It'll belong to Aurora. Aurora trying to get a little early momentum here in the second half. We've played about a half a minute. Ediger brings it in along the right side, guarded by Vandergren. Tries to get a screen. Loops it underneath. Nice move there by Haas.
Well, you can see now Aurora set up some backdoor plays with the pressure that's bothered them, and they did an excellent job there in getting a pick for the easy lay-in.
Norris would like to get something on the board. DeVries gets it right there. Branch DeVries, the 6'2 senior, has 8 points. 30-19. Norris by 11. We've played a minute into the second half. A lot of motion for Aurora. Johnson from the circle. Too strong. Rebound. Haas. He gets another basket. He's hit 2 in a row now for Aurora. Hits his first 4 points of the ball game. 30-21. Norris leads it by 9. DeVries to the big guy Kramer. He's too far underneath. Vandergren missed the shot. DeVries with the rebound. Fakes up. 3-second violation called on Norris.
I'll tell you, DeVries has really played a tough ball game inside. He seems like he's always there when the ball comes off the rim. He's been very tough to handle, and they've, of course, got big people inside, but he seems to be making the difference.
Aurora brings it up court down by 9. 6:25 remaining third period. Class B championship game. Aurora lost in the semifinals a year ago. Penner was loose. He got around
Vandergren. They're making their
Vandergren.
comeback now. They're taking away the pressure by lobbying and looking for backdoors.
Timeout called by Norris with 6:07 left to go third quarter. It's Norris 30 and Aurora 23. We're back to action here in Class B, third quarter. Norris will play it from the near sideline in their back court. Their 13-point lead at halftime has now shrunk to 7. They've been outscored 8-2 here in the first 2 minutes of the second half. DeVries beats it, big guy. Vandergren blasted it off the glass. He must have thought he was out further. And Aurora has a chance now to cut it to just 5. They have Penner controlling the ball. He's on the move. It'll be a blocking foul charged to Bryant DeVries. Coming back in the ballgame, Hoover comes back in the ballgame. And we have the mass substitutions now. Is also coming in Robertson and Oltman. And going out, you have Sheppy, and also going out Elzy and Vandergren. Second foul on DeVries. My son is number 11. I thought it said 11. If that would be Richard Arnold, if that was the case.
Well, if they score here, they're back in the game. There's no question about it. The tempo has changed, and it's in favor of Aurora.
Johnson gives the ball to Carter. Big basket by Carter, who's had some big... He has 8 points now. He got the one just before the half. And Aurora is back to within 5 at 30-25. Norris has scored but 2 points here in the second half thus far. DeVries into Kramer. Off the glass. He worked for that one, Joe. Big basket for Kramer. He has 10 points. 32-25. Ediger battling Hoover. Ediger still on the drive to Carter. Another big 2. He's had some clutch baskets. He has 10 points now for Aurora.
That's what they're good at. They don't take long for them to score.
32-27. Norris by 5 as the tempo quickens here in the third quarter. Bad shot maybe there by Oltman. Rebound, however, is to Hoover, to DeVries. Gives it to Robertson, and the Titans set it up. Underneath to Hoover. Short jump shot, good. He has 6 points, Hoover does, Lenny Hoover. 34-27. Aurora still trails now by 7. 4:23 left to go, third period.
There he is, Penner inside.
Penner in the middle. Lays it up, good, and he's fouled.
3-point play.
And the foul is on DeVries. That'll be the third one on DeVries. And going to the line, Penner for the 3-point play. 6'1" junior. The 5-point ball game. Penner now has 6. He can make it a 4-point ball game.
Penner's been in our basketball camp ever since he was 8 years old, every year.
He hits the free throw, and it's a 34-30 ball game. Aurora had only 15 points at halftime, Joe. They've scored that many already here in the third quarter. We played only 4 minutes of the third quarter. DeVries cut off, feeds it back out front.
Oh, boy, look at him run that offense.
This is Oltman, fakes the shot, turns it down to Robertson, baseline DeVries. In it goes Hoover. It will not count. And it'll be a blocking foul, I believe, on Ediger. It's on Ediger, his second. That's only the first team foul of the second half against Aurora. 34-30, Norris by 4, 3:48 remaining third period. Underneath Kramer, one dribble, lays it up, no good. Rebound taken by Johnson. Now Aurora has a chance to make it a 2-point ball game.
There's
Penner.
a one-on-one for Penner.
Penner shot no good. It'll be an offensive foul.
3.
That's his third substitution. Vandergren back in the ball game for Norris, and going out is Rod Kramer. Penner picks up his third foul with 3.5 minutes remaining in the third period. 34-30. Norris has led all the way. They led by 13 at halftime, 28-15. Oltman is 20. 40 is Vandergren. 32 is Hoover. Oltman's jump shot, no good. Rebound, Penner. Bounces it away to Johnson, and here come the Huskies. Again, they can make it a 2-point ball game if they get something down in the hole this time. They loop it right side. Long jump shot by Ediger, good. Ediger gets the bucket. He has 6 points.
Aurora's played with a lot of poise this second half, and they've come back without any problems at all, and just like it was a matter of fact, this is what's going to happen.
34-32, maybe a little bit like Sydney's game yesterday. They trailed badly at halftime. Jump shot is good by Vandergren. He has 4 points. And Norris again leads by 4. Pressure in the backcourt. Ediger has it deflected. It's taken by Haas. Haas bounces right side to Penner. Out front it goes. Ediger, 17-footer, too strong. Rebound taken by DeVries, almost stolen away, but he controls it for Norris. Norris by 4, 36-32, 2:12 remaining, third period. Class B championship game. Robertson to Oltmann to Hoover. Kramer's taking a breather right now, the big guy for the Titans. Loop it underneath. Vandergren gets 2. Good feed.
That's a key play for them. They needed that badly to get back control of the game again.
6-point lead for Norris. Ediger, 2-time, bounces the ball off to Carter. Stolen away by Norris. Hoover stops, feeds right side, short jump shot, no good. Rebound, battle for and taken by Aurora. Action a little bit ragged right now. Bounce right side, Penner. Penner loops it to Carter. Great effort, but he just wasn't strong enough. Carter he may have hurt his ankle, Joe. Carter is limping a little bit as he comes up court. 38-32. Norris by 6 with 1:15 to go as Holiday gets set to check back in for Aurora. Baseline is Robertson. Robertson on the drive. Short jumper. Too strong. Rebound Ediger, and Ediger is fouled by Robertson. The 1-and-1 is not in effect yet. Let's check the substitutions now for Norris. I think they send in 4. Only guy that stays in is Hoover. Elsie is back in. Also in is Sheppy. Kramer is back, and also in the ball game is Craig Frange. 1:05 remaining, third period. Norris leads by 6. Aurora has the ball. Penner to Holiday, who's come in. Holiday goes baseline. Out front, Johnson. Haas, Penner. Loops it out front to Holiday. Holiday in the circle. One-ender is no good. Rebound goes out of bounds. It'll be played by Norris, the length of the court. 43 seconds left to go, third period, 38-32. Norris by 6. They led by 13 at halftime. Tell you what, I think perhaps Aurora, without as many substitutions, maybe just a little more tired. They made their run at it, Joe.
They really did. They looked like they were getting stronger, and they sure have. They played more intense. Their intensity is a little better second half as far as their defense is concerned.
Norris may go for a shot here. Okay, there it is. Prange missed it. Loose ball picked up by by Aurora. 15 seconds remaining, third period. Aurora down by 6 with 11 seconds, 10 seconds. Johnson into Moore, lost, taken by the Titans, 5 seconds. Sheppy, no good. That's the end of the third quarter. Your score, Norris 38, Aurora 32. Class B battle remains. Carter is in double figures for Aurora with 10. Kramer has 10 for Norris, the only players in the ball game with double figures. 38-32, Norris by 6 after leading by 13 at halftime. Foul, and the foul is charged on Sheppy. It'll still not be, I don't believe we're in a 1-and-1, or are we? Nope, not yet. Well, they are going to go. The fifth, that was the fifth foul. That was the fifth foul. There's a look at the Norris bench. You're right, Jerry Smuddy. Looking straight ahead and going to the line is Kevin Penner. That's the fifth foul. Yes, it is. That was the fifth foul. Penner at the line hit it. 38-33. Aurora down by 5. They trailed 10-4 at the end of the first quarter. Penner is a 6'1" junior. He hit them both. And it's a 4-point ball game again at 38-34. 9 points now for Penner. He had only 2 at halftime. Norris in the white uniform. 44 is Kramer. Elsie is 22. Hoover is 32. 10 is Sheppy. And the other one in the ball game, 14, is Prange. Trying to get it into the big guy.
Well, they run
There's
that
Kramer.
post action good. They bring those guys off that backside pick.
Shot
Good
is
defense.
blocked by Carter. Carter had some big baskets for Aurora. He's all over the court.
DeVries posts up in there. He's big.
Elsey, maybe a bad selection of his shot, but then it's knocked out of bounds by Holiday, and the ball will belong to Norris. 7:22 to go in the ball game. Norris leads at 38-34. Norris has scored only 10 points here in the second half to this point. Kramer to Elsey, to Hoover, to Sheppy. Underneath it goes, but they can't get the shot away. That was Prange. They decide to come back out, playing patient basketball. They lead by 4. Norris is in the light. They have the lead. Ball stolen away, knocked out of bounds, and last touch, they say, by Carter. Carter almost came up with a great play there.
Rudy was so close to the play, couldn't quite tell.
Here we go. Norris plays it from the near sideline in their forecourt. Bounce pass goes into Sheppy. We've played a minute into the fourth quarter.
There he is.
Ball is kicked. It'll still belong to Norris. Kicked out of bounds by Mike Johnson. Sheppy will inbound the ball for Norris. Substitution as DeVries. You kind of like certain guys, don't you, Joe? That Branch is one of them. You like the way he hustles and works out there.
You know, it's really tough. Some kids really have that ability to find that loose ball, and DeVries is one of those. He's really a tough competitor.
Norris, an all-senior lineup, so these guys got to do it right now. 4 seniors in the starting lineup for Aurora.
There he is.
DeVries has the ball knocked away, but he was fouled. And the foul, I believe, is on Penner, and that'll be his 4th, if it is so. It is. That's his 4th foul. With 6:42 to go in the game, Penner picks up his 4th foul. And they're calling it a shooting situation, and going to the line will be Branch DeVries, who has 8 points. They hit 10 of 11 free throws the first half, Norris did. That one's short. We're in the fourth quarter of the Class B championship game. Lions won in Class C, 75-41. Hit 1 out of 2. 39-34, Norris by 5. Undefeated. Stolen away by the big guy, Kramer. A big play by Kramer.
Nice play. That's a key steal right here, I'll tell you.
He may get a bucket out of it.
Now
He
they go
does.
up by 7, and that's a big play for him.
41-34. Kramer made 2 great plays, offensively and defensively. Johnson all alone. He's fouled, but he didn't get the bucket. The foul is on Hoover, his first. In the ball game now is David Haas. Comes in the ball game for Aurora. 6:18 to go, 41-34. And going to the line is Mike Johnson. Well, Kramer made 2 great plays there, Joe. The knocking away of the ball and then the basket.
He sure did. They've used their press effectively the whole game, the Norris has, and it's kept them from getting in trouble. They've picked up the ball a couple of times, and then they've capitalized it by scoring at the end of a steal.
Johnson hit the first one, and he missed the second one, and DeVries clears the board. Norris by 6, 41-35, with 6:12 to go in the season. Uh-oh, on the move, Hoover, a great move. Little change of pace. He has 8 points. Long pass to Penner.
Oh,
to Carter.
great pass.
Super pass, ball out of bounds. It'll belong to Aurora. That was a super effort there. The ball will be played by the Huskies from their baseline. 5:57 to go. 43-35. Norris leads it by 8. The lead has been down to 4 a couple of times. To Johnson. He missed it. Rebound to Hoover. Stolen away nearly. To DeVries. DeVries right side to Sheppy. Turns down a shot. The ball is knocked into the backcourt. Picked up there by Hoover. Brings it back across to Elsey. Norris with the ball and an 8-point lead with 5:35 to go. Underneath, DeVries fakes. Short jumper, good. Joe's boy gets one. He has 11 points. And it's a 10-point lead, Joe. There were some unanswered points right there. And Aurora wants timeout. with 5:24 to go. It's Norris 45 and Aurora 35. Your score, the time remaining is 5:24. Aurora will have the ball at center court across the way. They were back to within 4 a couple of times. Now they trail by 10. Ediger is 35. 43 is Johnson. 21 is Carter. Get it right side to Haas. Haas going baseline. Short jumper. Good. A nice effort there by Dave Haas. He has 6 points. 45-37 as Aurora now presses. They're in the backcourt. They clear it ahead on the right side to Oltmann. Oltmann has it for the Titans. They have an 8-point lead with just under 5 minutes remaining of the ball game. Trying to complete an undefeated season. They're 25-0. Their first trip to the state tournament. An all-senior starting lineup. Vandergren holds it, finally clears it away to Oltmann.
You can see Norris is going to work their offense. They're going to take some time off the clock and get a good shot.
They lead it by 8. They have to be in no hurry at this particular point. DeVries loops it to the baseline.
There they passed up a shot.
Kramer, the big guy,
play.
Missed the first one, missed the second one.
Boy.
Great effort, almost stolen away.
Great play.
No good again. Well, I tell you what, Aurora lucked out there. Aurora got a break right there. Aurora trails by 8 points to Carter. Carter to Haas, to Ediger. Short, rebound Johnson. Jump shot, no good. Rebound tied up, or we have a foul.
Oh, he hurt his thumb.
The foul is going to be charged to Robertson. Robertson's second. Coming back in the ball game now for Norris is Hoover. And Penner goes to the line.
Penner hurt his thumb on that play, too. He had to go in with both hands, and you could see the pain on his face when he had to put his other hand in there, and he got it jolted pretty good.
Well, there's 4 minutes to go in the ball game, minus 2 seconds. It's an 8-point ball game, and I tell you what, Aurora has played it in streaks, Joe. Penner with 9 points. He missed the free throw, and going high is Kramer, and Kramer is fouled by Johnson. That was a giveaway foul yet. That's not the 1-and-1. The next one will be the 1-and-1. That was the 4th team foul of the second half. Johnson commits his 3rd foul. Aurora pressing, Joe, as you might well expect. Hoover will inbound the ball, does so to Robertson, back to Hoover.
Norris is really a sound basketball team. They're really well coached. They do everything well. They go.
They may not get this one over in 10 seconds, though.
Yeah, they will.
Finally did. Underneath, Vandergren, scoop shot. No good. Kramer, basket.
Kramer's really coming on strong. He's been very fine board man inside, runs their offense, and has good hands.
10-point lead. Kramer has 14 points. We're down to 3:25. Carter against Oltmann. Penner, Ediger, Johnson. Penner. It went home.
Aurora really made a good comeback in the 3rd quarter, and it looks like they're going to have a tough time catching them, but they've done an excellent job here in putting the press on and getting back on defense.
We're down to 3 minutes. Norris leads by 8. Norris with the ball, an 8-point lead. Well, I tell you what, when Robertson got that pass off, he knew that he might be in trouble as Carter went to the ball. Vandergren. They're very patient, Joe, as you mentioned.
They're going to delay now. I heard the coach holler, go to delay. So they're going to bring it out and go to delay.
They're going to tempt him. Aurora dropping way back. We're down to 2:38, an 8-point lead. Norris with the ball and that lead. Eating a lot of time off the clock.
Here they are.
They average 67 points a ball game, and right now, all they want to do is end up with one more than Aurora. Oltmann out front. We're down to 2:19. Norris with the ball and an 8-point lead. The Norris fans across the way yelling, "We're number 1." They might very well be. Aurora lost just once, a 2-pointer to Plattsmith. Offensive foul.
2 minutes to go.
The foul was on Oltmann, his 3rd. Timeout with 2:04 to go. The score, Norris 47, Aurora 39.
If you want to...
There's your score, 47-39. Norris trying to complete an undefeated season. If they win it, it'll be 26-0, just as was the Class C champion Lions finished 26-0. And one of the teams in D is going to finish either 24-0 or 27-0.
Well, those are the kind of seasons you like to have without any losses.
Aurora's got to hurry a little bit. We're down to the 2-minute mark, and they trail 47-39. They can't take just a lot of time. Edgar Carter's the guy that has got the hot hand for him, but that one won't go in, and Hoover has a rebound. He's in heavy traffic, but bounces the ball away to Robertson. They get into the forecourt. Altman was called for that offensive foul a little while ago. To DeVries, they're just tempting him with an open lane, but he won't go.
30.
There he goes. Short jump shot. It won't go. Loose underneath. Kicked out of bounds. Kicked out of bounds by Aurora. We're down to a minute 28. Well, it looks like Norris is going to hold on to get this one, Joe. But what a run Aurora made in that third quarter when they got to within 4 and could have got to within 2. Altman will get it in for the Titans. Counting down at 1:25.
Take a miracle to win now for Aurora.
Well, I guess. I saw a team down by 7 win in the last 45 seconds of a championship game one time, but I don't think it's going to happen here this afternoon.
Those are the ones you don't forget.
Boy. A lot of... Almost stolen away. It is by Edgar. Edgar driving against DeVries. Edgar's shot is no good. Rebound to Hoover. And he'll get across the line and then stop.
55.
55 seconds to go. And the ball game belongs to Norris. They led by 13 at halftime. And the Norris crowd senses it, Joe. They're on their feet. Altman.
Great season for Jerry Smetty and his team. They've really had a fine year.
Foul on Edgar. Well, Joe, when you win them all, that's super. That's right. You can't be any better than perfect.
They've come up in a tough district, and they've played a lot of good competition, and the same with Aurora. They're both fine basketball teams. And I think the size certainly had a lot to do with the game because Norris does have a much bigger team and much stronger inside, and that has a lot to do with the board play. And if you can get the board, you know what that means.
Jerry Smutty is out saying no foul. Just shoot the free throw. If we miss it, we miss it. But let's not get any foolish fouls right now. 41 seconds to go. Aurora down by 8 at the line for Norris is Branch DeVries, one of the many seniors on this ball club. Big free throw for him is 12 points. Well, Ira Schreiber, our scorekeeper, Joe, his wife teaches at Norris, and he's been very restrained all afternoon long.
Do you think he's been a little prejudiced?
No, he's put the scores down right where they belong. Two big free throws by DeVries. We're down to 40 seconds, and Norris leads it by 10. The Titans will be the Class B champions. Johnson. Oh, a great effort there by Penner.
You know, I think we have to mention one thing. Certainly, Coach Holliday has had a fine season, but when you take your best player and he has a broken thumb, it's really taken a lot away from him and getting a lot of assists, but he hasn't been an offensive factor, and it's had a lot to do with the fact that he's had a bad thumb.
Penner has 13 points. Coming into the ball game as Haas for Aurora, and Johnson goes out. Fourth foul on DeVries, but that matters little at this point with 31 seconds to go. 49-41. Joe, it isn't over by any means. 3-point play right there for Penner.
Steal here would put him back maybe, but
right.
It's going to be tough.
Altman eating some time off the clock. Oh, whoops. Unintentional in all ways. Holliday just couldn't stop as he ran over the top of Altman. That's Holliday's first foul. And going to the line will be Kenton Altman. Calls Cortland home. He has 4 points. Vandergren from Firth, DeVries from Cortland, Kramer from Cortland, Sheppy from Hickman, Elsey from Cortland. Majeski, who's not played, from Cheney. Prange is from Holland. Altman from Cortland, Hoover from Roca. Free throw by Altman is good. And Robertson is from Roca. Don't want to forget those. Coming out of the ball game is Rod Kramer. Isn't showing too much emotion, Joe, but you know inside he's got to be so happy. They call him the Iceman on the free throw line. Was he an Iceman today? 2 for 2.
It's not bad.
No. Free throws have been really the difference in this ball game today. 6 points for Altman. We're down to 22 seconds, a 9-point lead. Long jump shot is up. It's no good. Rebound loose at the baseline to give it to Penner underneath. Penner gets another basket. We're down to 10 seconds, 51-44. In the backcourt, Altman getting a lot of pressure, clears it away to DeVries. DeVries calls timeout. They want to get some substitutes in the ball game. Majeski, who's not playing, has come into the ball game, and also coming in is Steve Elsey. With 5 seconds left to go, the championship belongs to the Titans of Norris. They lead 51-44 with just 5 seconds to go. They led 10-4 at the quarter, 28-15 at halftime. Their lead was only 6 after 3 quarters, 38-32. Aurora actually cut it to 4 in the 4th quarter at 38-34, but never got any closer than 4 points. They had a chance several times to get within 2. We have some substitutions in the ballgame as well for Aurora. We see that Morris Haydenfeld is checked into the lineup. Also in is Ron Ba. In the ballgame is Steve Rosehart. Also in there is Mike McCord. And last but not least, Richard Arnold. Well, we're down to the last second. There's a long shot by Hoover. It's no good. And the Titans of Norris have won the Class B championship as they end the year undefeated. They whip Aurora by the score of 51-44 as Bill Holliday and Jerry Smuddy shake hands right in front of us. A big win for the Titans, their first trip, Joe, to the state tournament, and they win it all. You can't do much better than that with a perfect season.
It's a great year for them, and they're a very well-organized team and did a lot of things well. They, as we said, they had the big people inside. They shot well from out, and they played the good, tough defense today. It was a tough day for Aurora, but they had a fine year as well.
51-44, your final score, as Norris wins it by 7. They led by 6 at the end of the quarter, 10-4. They led 28-15 at halftime. 38-32 at the end of 3 quarters, and then win it by 7, 51-44. And we'll have the presentation of the trophies. The Nets haven't come down yet. Unofficially, here's the scoring for Norris. Vandergren had 6, DeVries had 13, Kramer 14, Sheppy and Elsey had only 2 each. Holtman had 6 and Hoover had 8. For Norris, for Aurora, Penner had 16, Johnson 3, Edinger had 6, Carter had 10, Haas had 6, Holiday had 2, and Moore had 1. At the free throw line, Norris was 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 13, 15 of 17 unofficially, while for Aurora they hit 4, 7, 9, 10 of about 15, I believe. A big win for the Titans of Norris. They finished the year 26-0. We've had 2 consecutive championships with teams that are 26-0. Now, Roy Churchill, your public address announcer.
Runner-up trophy is being presented to the Aurora High School basketball team, coached by Bill Holliday. Trophy presentation is being made by Nebraska School Activities Association Board of Control member Gene Dirkschneider of Wilbur. Congratulations, men. You may return to your bench area. Gold medals will be presented to the Norris Class B championship team and a special award to their coach, Jerry Schmuty, by Nebraska School Activities Association Board of Control member Tom Mahaney of Scotts Bluff. As your name is called, please step forward to receive your medal. Number 4, Mark Majeski.
The name is Schmutt E.
Number 12, Russ Robertson. Number 14, Craig Prangy. Number 20, Kent Altman. Number 32, Lenny Hoover. Number 42, Todd Wicken. Number 50, Steve Elsey. Number 10, Mark Sheffy. Number 22, Tim Elzey. Number 34, Branch DeBreeze. Number 40, Ross Vandergrund. Number 44, Rod Kramer. And the coach, Jerry Schmuddy. The Class B championship trophy is being presented to the Norris High School basketball team. Trophy presentation is being made by Nebraska School Activities Association Board of Control member Max Ingram of Barclay. Congratulations to the Norris team, their coach, and their fans.
2 championships in Class C. Lions the winner over U10. In Class B, it was Norris over Aurora. And we'll be talking with winning coach Jerry Schmuddy after this timeout. Mark Almond visiting with winning coach Jerry Schmuddy. And Jerry, has there ever been a greater feeling as a coach than you have right now?
Well, Mark, I doubt that there could be. Being a basketball coach, you always dream, of course, being the state champion, and I've dreamed that since I've probably been knee-high to a grasshopper. Of course, I'm not much bigger right now, but it's something that I've always dreamed of, and the kids have worked hard for 3 years, and this is kind of the result of 3 years of hard work for us, and I couldn't be happier for that group of young men. There's no one in the state that's as deserving as they are, because they put forth an awful lot of effort throughout the year, and they practiced hard, and they played hard every ball game, and to go through this thing undefeated was a fair accomplishment.
They always talk about maybe pressure when you have an undefeated string. At any time this year, do you think you or your kids ever felt that?
Yeah, on about December 1st, I think we felt a little pressure, but no, I don't know. It got to me a little bit, probably about district times. You know, we didn't make it last year, and I thought we should have. I thought we had a good enough ball club last year, and didn't make it, so this year that probably put a little added pressure on us, I think, at least on me. I know I haven't slept for 4 weeks, if that means anything.
10-4 after the first quarter. Was that pace a little slower than you might have anticipated?
Well, neither team. I think both teams were a little tight. They were tight. The first half might have been a little tired, you know, from the ball game the night before, and we came out the third and fourth quarters, and our shooting left something to be desired, but, you know, just like it's happened all year for us. When we've had to do it, somebody gets it done. I think Rod Kramer got a key rebound and put one back in down there and on an offensive board and kind of put us back up again. And I don't know. They've just done that all year long, and I guess that's why they're number one, isn't it?
You've been able to shuffle players in and out so much. That had to be a factor also.
Well, we've used our bench real well all year, Mark, and, of course, that's the way we planned it, and that's the way we played it, and the kids have adjusted to it. And, you know, I thought, I don't know how many rebounds Lenny Hoover got today, but he was skying. He's only 6'1", but he really got up and did a tremendous job, as they all did. You know, I couldn't be happier for any of them. They just really worked hard, and I just thank the good Lord that I was able to coach those guys.
Got down to 4 points late in the third quarter, early in the fourth quarter. Some of your thoughts then?
Hurry up and get it over with, I guess. No, I don't know. Like I said, I just expected them to do it, you know, because this has happened to us before, Mark, and the kids have responded to it. And like I said, we didn't shoot the ball real well, but we played good enough defense down the clutch and rebounded real well against them, which I thought was one of the keys of the ball game. I told the kids before the game that I thought we had to control the defensive boards and try to get some offensive boards, which we really didn't do a very good job of, but we were tough on the boards today.
Somebody might say you're able to draw your players from 7 or 8 towns. That's why you're so good. Towns like Roca and Panama and Cortland and Hickman and Firth and others.
Well, I think all roads are going to lead to Roca tonight. I'm not sure, but no, we draw from a large area, and of course that high metropolitan area in South Lancaster County down there, but we do have a lot of small towns, and I think this means a lot for our school district and for our young men, and I couldn't be happier for them.
And I couldn't be happier for you and your group, and I've got my "We're Number One" on. It's red. That didn't mean anything until right now. And
well, I wondered what you meant when you said you were going to wear it. I wanted you to wear that Norris one. It just says "We're Number One."
Well, okay, let me just reach in the pocket then here. Let's see if I do have it here yet. Good luck, Norris.
All right. There you go. It's not red, but that's all right. We'll take it.
St. Patrick's Day.
Yep.
Okay, Jerry, congratulations.
Thank you very much, Mark.
You betcha. Jerry Schmuddy, the head coach of the Titans of Norris, the champions in Class B. There's some guys who want to talk to you, or you can go over and talk to them if you want to.
All right, thank you.
You betcha. Let's just unofficially go through that scoring again. for Norris. Vandergren had 6, DeVries had 13, Kramer 14, Shippey and Elsey had 2 apiece. Oltman entered the ball game with 6, and Hoover had 8 big points for the Titans. They go undefeated. They finished the year 26-0, the Class B champions. The Huskies of Aurora finished at 22-2. They lost in the semifinals a year ago after winning the title in '76. The loss is a 2-pointer to Plattsmouth, and then the loss out here this afternoon by 7 to Norris. So 2 champions are crowned, Lions in Class C, Norris in Class B. At 6:30 tonight in Class D, 2 undefeated teams, Axtell against Philly. And then in the Class A championship games, the teams that were seeded 7th and 8th will battle it out. Lincoln Southeast 7th and Omaha Northwest 8th. That'll come your way at 8:30. That does it for this afternoon. And for all the crew, we thank you, and we hope that you'll join us again tonight at 6:30.
The Class C and B finals of the 1979 Nebraska State Boys High School Basketball Tournament were presented in part by your local Big Eye independent insurance agent and by Bob Seco and your Golden Harvest dealer. Live coverage of Class D and A championship games with Joe Cipriano and Mark Almond will begin tonight at 6:30 on 10-11 Strong. Boys State Tournament Basketball has been another 10-11 Strong remote sports presentation.
Hurry, hurry, hurry!